Hello, welcome to Ghana STEM-TUTORs. Today we are going to learn Arduino board. So if you are a beginner and then you want to start working with some pretty cool basic electronics, you can consider using the Arduino board since it's open source and then it is based on easy to use hardware and then what? Software. So it actually consists of a circuit board which can be programmed, which normally refers to as the microcontroller. So the microcontroller actually serves as the brain of the Arduino. So we are going to dive deep and then we are going to upload more videos on how you can use the Arduino board. I would like you to subscribe to our channel and also like our video and also comment because your comments are actually going to give us some feedback on how to improve on our channel. Thank you. So there are several types of the Arduino boards, but today we are going to consider using the Arduino Uno R3. So we have the Arduino Nano, Micro, Arduino Bluetooth, Arduino Mega, R4, Ethernet, Zero, Arduino. There are several kinds of them. But then it depends on the project, the kind of project that you are going to build and how you are going to, also factor cost into it. For instance, if you are going to work on some projects which will not require more pins, then I don't think you go for Arduino Mega. You consider using either Nano or Arduino Uno. But then sometimes too, it also depends because maybe if you want to work on IoT project, then you go for Arduino boards which have already built in Wi-Fi, or you can also use Arduino Uno board and then also buy a external Wi-Fi module to connect to it. But today we are going to get started. So today I want to take you through the Arduino board, but then we are going to use LED as our first start. But let us first understand the various features of the Arduino board, since that will help us as beginners. Okay, so let me first talk about the advantage of using the Arduino board. It is actually inexpensive as you compare to the other board, and also it is also a cross platform. It is an open source and also extensible software. So the idea of the Arduino is actually user friendly, and then it doesn't require much effort or much deep insight to be able to use their software. So that is it. We have the digital pins here. We have the microcontroller. We have the analog. This is where you upload your code. You insert your code and then you upload your code. You have your power source where you can actually power the Arduino board, and then also you can consider powering the Arduino board using the 5 volts and the GND. So the digital pins, the digital pins ranges from D0 to D13. Analog pins from A0 to A5. So you can perform basic input and output function at the digital side. You can send signals like turning on LED, on and then what off. That is what we are going to do today, and then after that we add some functionalities to it. You can also read data, so input from other sensors. For the analog side, the pins are used for analog input, and then they are numbered A0 to A5 as you can see. The pins allows you to read voltages that vary or read signals that vary in voltage, like the output of a temperature sensor or let's say potentiometer. But what it does is actually it converts the analog signal value using ADC. So it actually convert the analog signal into a digital value, which using the ADC, which is analog to digital conversion. And we have the power pins here. Don't forget that is the main brain of the Arduino board. So today let's start. We are going to use LED and we are going to turn the LED on. So we have our red LED here. We have the cathode side. So we are actually going to connect the cathode to the GND. And then we will connect the anode to any of the digital pin, that I'm going to use pin 8. Okay, so after we are done with the schematics, we are going to go to where we have the code, and then we are going to program it to be able to stimulate it. Okay, so when you come here, you have your voice setup here, your voice loop here. So the voice setup function runs at the start, and it is used to configure the pin. So in this case, the voice setup is actually going to be used to configure the pin 8. So you can also choose any pin that you want to use. But for the void loop, it is actually going to run continuously, and it is where you are going to instruct the specific component that you are using. So in this case, we are using LED. It is where we are going to instruct the LED to come on, to go off, to have some delay, and so on. So first of all, we are going to declare our variables. So the variable that we are using must correspond to the LED. You can decide to choose any variable, but then in programming, it should follow a schematic order. So you need to choose a variable that corresponds to whatever you are doing. So in this case, we are using the LED, which is connected to pin 8, which is an integer. So we are going to use a short form, which is int, and then red LED as variable, which is connected to pin 8, and then you end it with what? Semicolon, since we are using C++. Don't forget that the Arduino IDE uses C++, and then in C++, every line that you write, you end it with what? Semicolon. And then after that, we are going to, state the state of the LED. So pin mode, don't forget that M is capital, it's case sensitive. So pin mode red LED, which is what? Output component, so output. Then we end it with semicolon. Okay, so we are just going to turn it on. And then after that, you are going to turn it on. So you are going to use digitalWrite, which is a function to send a signal to where we have the LED connected. So the W2 is a capital. And then you see that red LED high. So just like normal ones and what? Zeros. So high means 1, 0 means off. So in this case, we are using high. We can also choose to just put one there, and then the LED will still come on. So let us see. It's just a simple code to turn it on. So let's start with the simulation. Okay, so as you can see, we have our LED on. We have our LED turned on. Let me stop the simulation. It's off. Okay, it's on, and then it's off. Okay, now let's add some delay, or let us first verify from what I just said. So I am going to delete the high, and then I have one there. I start the simulation. Yes, I still have it there on. Okay, let me stop the simulation and put 0 there. It's off, as you can see. Let me stop the simulation. And then let us add some simple delay. So high. Okay, so let's say we are going to delay it for some seconds. And then we are going to put it off again after we delay it. I hope you are following. That is low. Okay, so let us start with the simulation. Don't forget that you are supposed to use the variable names, right? So correct variable names. That is why we are having error here. So as you move on, you'll be able to identify where the problem is coming from. So let us correct it from here. Sorry, red LED. I am taking my time for you to be able to follow. So red LED, and then let us start the simulation. Good. So we have it here. Okay. So let's say after putting it on, we delay it, we put it off. Let us delay it before it moves to it turns on. You understand? Okay, so let's have some delay here. So 2000, which is actually 2 seconds. Okay, so as you can see, it turns on, it delay for 2 seconds, it goes off, it delays for 2 seconds. Okay, so we are going to add more LEDs, and then we are going to learn how traffic light is being programmed following the same principle. I hope you are following the tutorials, because this simple way to understand Arduino, and then we are taking our time for you to be able to follow. Okay, so let's stop the simulation, and then we stop the simulation, and then let us add more LED. So we are going to add another LED, but in this case, let's call this yellow, and then let's add another one. Let's call this one green. Okay, good. So let's do our connection. So we have cathode here, which can be connected to cathode. So we can decide to connect the GND from here to here, from here to here. Or since they are all going to be connected to the cathode, we can just consider using this cathode like that. Black. Okay, and then this one too. Good. And then we are going to choose the pin that we are going to use. So I'm going to use pin 7 for the yellow. Yellow. And I'm going to use pin 6 for the anode. Good. Okay. So now we have 3 LEDs here, but we have not yet included the code for this 2 LEDs. That is why we have only the red coming on. So let's stop the simulation. Let's move to where we have the code, and then let's follow the same format. So we will first define or initialize the LED yellow. So int LED yellow, let's call this one yellow, a variable name, is equal to which pin did we connected it to? Can you guess? Pin 7, right? Okay. You end it with semicolon, and then int LED green is equal to which pin did we use? Pin 6. And then, as I said it earlier, I said that the setup function runs at the start and it is used to configure the pin. So we are going to move to this side, the voice setup, and then we are going to configure the pin that we are using for the 2 LEDs. So pin mode, M is capital. So LED yellow, right, is what? Output. Don't forget to end it with semicolon. Another pin mode, sorry, pin mode, M capital, don't forget that. And then you have LED green, right? Good. Okay. Now when we are done, we are going to move to the void loop, right? At the void loop, that's where we are going to, instruct the LEDs, yellow and then what? Green to what? Come on. This is very, very simple to do. So, and then also, let me talk about this one. Always add comments to your code. But in this case, since I am taking you as a beginner, I don't want to waste much of your time. But then, whenever you are, I mean, working on a project, you can add comments to it. So that is that. Okay, we have the guitar. Let's take our time. The W is capital. The guitar, right? So that is what LED yellow, right? LED yellow, right? And then we are going to what? Turn it on. And then we are going to delay it. We are delaying it for 2 seconds. And then we are going to, put it off, right? It's very, very simple. We are going to put it off. LED yellow. So low. And then also, after putting it to off, we are going to delay it for some time. Delay it for some time. And then after delaying it, we are going to turn it on again. So in that manner, taking my time for you to understand all the process. Okay. So now we have the yellow function here. So we are going to add the green. But since you already understand, I'm just going to copy this one. I'm going to copy it and then paste it here. And then I'm going to change the variable name, right? So green, green, and then green. Okay. So LED green, LED green. Let us run through it. LED yellow. Okay, that is it. So now let's start the simulation. Okay. So let us see where the problem is coming from. Good. It is good that we are able to debug it as we are watching the tutorials. So we have the problem coming from this side. So green LED is supposed to be output. Output. Good. So let's start the simulation again and see. Okay, we have another problem here. Okay, so digitalWrite LED yellow. So we change the variable here. Remember I said that the variable is supposed to continue. So we use LED yellow, but we change it to red LED here. Okay. And then we have another problem here. Yes, LED yellow. Sorry, LED green. Okay, LED green. Okay, sure. So let's start the simulation. Okay, good. So yellow comes on and then goes off. Green comes on and then also goes off. Okay. So now let's stop the simulation and then let's clear all the code and then we are going to follow a precise order and then program it to behave as a traffic light. I want to take my time and then take you through. So for the declaring of the variables, they are here. as I said, there is another way that you can also choose to, go by to reduce the code. So for instance, you can just say pinMode, and then you use the corresponding pin that you are using, right? So in this case, the variable name is just straight to the pin, right? The pin number. So let's say 8, and then you state the state of the pin, output, and it is semicolon, right? And then another one is what? Pin mode. So we have 7, which is for yellow. Sorry, which is also what? Output, right? Okay. Pin mode, pin 6, which is also output, right? And then at the void loop, we are just going to turn them on. So void loop, we have digitalWrite. So 8, right? 8. Hi. So let's copy and paste this. Okay. So now let us change the pin numbers. So 7 and then 6. And then let's start the simulation. Sorry. First of all, let us add the semicolon. C++. So we are supposed to end it with a semicolon. As you can see, so we have all the LEDs on. I hope you understand. So there is another way you can also write the code. Okay. So the last now we are going to do today, we are going to learn how to program this to behave as a traffic light. And that is just a simple project that you can start when you start working with Arduino. So as you work on the simulation side, you can also do well with the hardware. So we are going to also upload videos on how you can connect your various sensors to work together with the Arduino board. Okay, so let us add small functionalities to it so that it can behave like a traffic light. So we already have the pin mode side. So we are just going to edit here, and then we are good to go. So mind you, the digital write 8 high is for the red, the next one is for yellow, the next one is for green. Okay. So we are going to put all the two LEDs here, yellow and red, off at this side and then delay it for some time. So let me just copy and paste. It is not a good thing to do when you are a beginner, but then to save time. So 7, you put it to low. 6, you put it to low. Okay. And then you have your delay here. So let's delay it for 5 seconds. Okay. So at this side, the red is going to light on. For the initial state, both yellow and then green is going to be off. So it will be off for 5 seconds. Red will be on for 5 seconds. You understand this? This is just a simple format you can program traffic light. There are several ways you can also do it. So maybe one of these days I'll also upload another code, show you how you can also I mean, program the traffic light in different way. Okay. So at this side too, we are going to put the LED yellow on. Okay, we are just going to put the LED yellow on. Okay, so let's say this one is for red. We are putting it off here, and then this one is for yellow. The pin number is what is important here. So at this side we are putting yellow on, right? And then we will put the green off. Good. And then we will delay it. We will delay it for yellow means get ready. So let's say 2 seconds. You can change it. Okay. So this one is supposed to be green. So at this side, we will off red. We will on yellow. We will put green to off state. So as you can see, then we will delay it. So it means at this side, when red goes off, yellow will come on for 2 seconds. Do we understand this? Very good. Let's move to the next line. Okay. So 8 for red, we are putting it off, and then we are putting green also off. Sorry, yellow also off, and then yellow off, and then green on high. So high, 6. And then we will delay it for let's say 5 seconds. Good. So now let me take my time and explain it to you. So digitalWrite, we are turning the red LED on, and then at this side we are putting these two LEDs off for 5 seconds. We are also turning this one on for 5 seconds, and then after the 5 seconds we are putting the red off and then turning on the yellow LED for 2 seconds, and then after that we are also turning the red and then yellow off for 5 seconds and turning the green LED on for 5 seconds. Let's stimulate it and see. Okay, so we have the red on. Okay, yellow on for 2 seconds or 5 seconds. Good, and that is that. Thank you for your time. Subscribe to our channel and also like and comment on our video. Thank you.